Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. This is Canadian Retro. I've got another pickups video for you here. It's been pretty rough out there, let me tell you. I have not been finding a whole lot of stuff. This might seem like quite a bit of stuff that I have in front of me here, but my last pickup video was quite a while ago. So pretty hard out there right now, and a lot of resellers and collectors are beating me to the punch, I think, out there, which is kind of brutal. I might have to switch up my game plan or my strategy here because it's getting hard to find things out in the wild. But some of the stuff I did find pretty epic this time around, so I'll get to it. First thing I'll start off with here are some things that are not video game related necessarily, but they're cool nonetheless. So first thing I found, this was quite some time ago now, was this Star Wars role-playing game, 2nd edition. So this is from, I think, the 90s, if I recall correctly. I was looking through this earlier to check it out, but it's really kind of like really cool. Yeah, it's from 1992, and it just has like how to play the game. Basically, it's like a role-playing game, has like images and pictures and whatnot, and I thought it was pretty cool, so I decided to pick that up. I think that was probably like around $4 or $5. I can't even remember now at this point, actually, but still pretty cool nonetheless. And then I also found on a different day some Walking Dead books. So first one here is book 1, then book 2, book 3, and not book 4, book 6, but this one here actually still has the plastic wrapping on it, so someone's never opened this one. So really cool, I think, right there. Those ended up being, I want to say, $5 each, I think, was the price of those. Now at the same time, I ended up using a coupon on it. So I used a coupon on it, and I also used like the deal where you bundle media together. So I ended up getting 2 games for free out of that, basically, by using the coupon and getting 1 item for free. So one thing I picked out here was Phineas and Ferb: The Second Dimension on PS3. Again, it was just free, so that's why I threw it in there, because I was buying those books anyways. And then Lego Lord of the Rings for Wii. So nothing super epic as far as the game front went there, but free is free, so what are you gonna do, right? Moving on from there, I went and picked up this little baggie, which I've already opened here just because I need to combine a few things here in a second. But for $5, I ended up picking up a bag that had a whole bunch of loose DS games in it. So first one here is Penguin Club. I don't know really much about that, so whatever. Cars Race-A-Rama, and I don't know, again, that's sort of that kind of idea. But this one is Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions, so I don't know if that one's any good. Have to check that one out. And then it also contained an Ace Card 2, which, you know, is for pirating games or whatever, and you put them onto an SD card, and the SD card's right here, and it has a 4GB SD card in it. So I figured, you know, even for a 4GB SD card for, you know, $5 wasn't too bad. But there was one more game in there, nothing too crazy, but the kind of nice deal happened here. So it had Sonic Rush in it. And in those loads of DS cases I picked up recently, I had a copy of Sonic Rush. So I'm able to complete that now, which is kind of nice. And I don't think I had Sonic Rush in my collection. So now it's all nice and complete there and everything. So pretty good score right there for $5, I would say, minus a couple of duds with those other games. But you know what I mean, pretty good deal. So that's not too bad. And then another day I kind of did something very similar. I went out and walked into Value Village, and they had some games there. And I picked out these 3. The first one here is Mario Luigi Partners in Time. And I paid $6 for that, which I thought was a decent deal. I thought I had a case for this, but I did not. I did have a case for this one though, and that is New Super Mario Bros. 2. I got this game with the loose games that day, and now I'm able to complete that because of my sort of case collecting thing that I haven't really seen any empty cases out there lately, but I used to anyway, so that's that. And then I also picked up a copy of Pokemon Diamond, which I had a case for and the manual and the whole bit. So again, I'm able to complete that. So that was a really good deal, and all of those games were $6 each, and the cases, I don't know, a few cents each. So I was able to complete those. Really cool. And I did not have this new Super Mario for the 3DS. So pretty pumped about that, because I'm going to be able to add that in the collection and use that Pokemon game to recoup my losses, basically. The last couple of things here are pretty sweet. This one here happened pretty much right in front of another person who was looking at video games. The store just opened, and he kind of went over to the game rack, which and he was sort of there first. I showed up like maybe 30 seconds late. So the store was opening and I was just getting out of my car. He kind of beelined it in there. I don't know if he saw me, but he beelined it in there and went over toward the game rack where, you know, all the DVD games and CD-based games and all that kind of stuff would be at. And I went over because I saw him go over there. I'm like, well, if he's going over there, I'm not going to get anything there. So I went over to the glass case, and inside the glass case was this here, which is Etrian Mystery Dungeon, which is totally complete in here. This is for the 3DS. I'd never heard of this game before, but it was pretty good. And I think, if memory serves me correctly, I picked this up for $15, which I'm sure it's well worth it, because it has everything inside of it. I'm trying to be kind of gentle here if possible, but yeah, so it has, you know, like the game itself here, and also has a soundtrack kind of thing. So let me see here. Yeah, so soundtrack, and then this is just like a little booklet, which I mean is acting as kind of like a manual, I guess, but it's a little more detailed than that. So kind of cool right there. And then the game itself, you know, is in the case there. So pretty good find, I think, for $15. I know it goes for definitely more than that, so pleased with that find. And the last item here I actually found in the glass case at a Value Village, in amongst basically the, I don't know what you call it, like the cast-off games that nobody wants. I mean, these places are just loading up, you know, because they're pricing their games at like $5-6, and some of these games aren't worth any of that. So what's going on there is there's a lot of stuff sort of building up, but I found this sitting on top of a stack of a bunch of like fodder, basically. And I was pretty pumped when I saw this, because it wasn't in there when I was there earlier on in the day, but it was there then. And that is this title right here, which is Summon Night Swordcraft Story. Or sorry, Summon Night 2 Swordcraft Story. So pretty cool right there. The cool thing about this one as well is this is factory seal. That's why I have this in the protective case. And obviously I can't open this, but I'm sure it's all in there because it is brand new. Really amazing shape. There really isn't anything wrong with it in the slightest. Like, it's really perfect. So I was pumped on this because they only wanted $20 for it, and I know for a fact that this one goes for far more than that. It probably goes for upwards of $130 to $150. This one's in minty mint shape, so probably that $150 mark would be a reasonable you know, price for this one. It's an Atlas title, which, you know, we're highly coveted kind of thing, so kind of nice to find that. And this is pretty epic, I think, right there, to be able to find in the thrift shop. I'd never actually heard of that game before, but I've checked out some gameplay, and I guess I'll have to figure out a different way of playing it, since I'm not going to be opening this one. But that's everything I found for you this time around. Thanks again for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Feel free to thumbs up this video, comment down below, and I'll see you all later.